I feel like I'm all over the place. Maybe it's because I've been cooped up all day and really haven't talked to a human being. Probably why I'm so chatty right now. As you know, I've been going along with the theme and the series of Life Talks with Ebeth, which is basically a story time / inspirational message / preachy, teachy talk with ya girl, Ebeth. Let's do this.
It's time for Life Talks with Ebeth, yeah.
So today I wanted to talk to you guys about a few of the reasons why I love moving. When you heard that, you were probably like, what? Girl, you like moving? And I gotta tell you something. I love moving and I also despise moving. But today's video is going to focus on the positives of why I love and appreciate moving. Now, I feel like I have the right to talk about moving and the pros and cons of it because, girl, I have moved a lot in 24 years of life. Let me just go through real fast for you.
My family moved when I was in the middle of the first grade, about 7 years old, from Arizona, where I was born, to Michigan. In the middle of the 5th grade, we moved back from Michigan to Arizona. Then when I was entering high school, we moved from Arizona back to Michigan. When I was in the middle of the 11th grade in high school, we moved from Michigan to West Texas to Lubbock. Then in the middle of my senior year, yes, I only lived in Lubbock for 1 year. In the middle of my senior year, I had to transfer schools yet again and move 8 hours away to, actually I think it's 6 hours. I don't know, we'll say 6. I moved 6 hours away to Central Texas in the Austin area. I lived there, graduated high school, went to Bible school, got a full-time job, and started dating my boo thing, Angelo, you know, and we got engaged, we got married. When we got married, I moved back to Michigan, where we lived there for about 2 years. Then we moved, last November, we moved back from Michigan to Austin, Texas. That is a total of
7 moves in 24 years of living. There's like a serious pattern in my life, and of course I feel like a ping pong ball because I just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. However, every time I transferred, I did transfer to a completely different school, and we did live in a different area each time we moved. So it wasn't like I was resorting right back to like where I came from. There was usually a main factor, which was our church usually remained the same, so that was a similar factor. But the only times that I moved somewhere completely different was when I moved to Lubbock in the middle of the 11th grade. That was totally new. Actually, that was the only time where I knew no one, like absolutely no one knew who I was, and I knew who nobody else was. That was really, really cool, and I really appreciated that move just because I experienced so much back and forth, and I kind of knew people, and you know, that was like a fresh, brand new start. So here's a few reasons why I love moving and can appreciate the process of moving. The first reason why I love and appreciate moving is that it legitimately forces you out of your comfort zone. I feel like it definitely helps you grow in your character and also grow in your perspective on life and on your perspective of the world through moving and experiencing different cultures or just different areas of the world. Cultures were extremely different, let me tell you, girl. That's why sometimes when you hear me talking, I will sound like a Michigander, and sometimes I will sound like a Texan, and sometimes I will sound like a Valley girl, and sometimes when I get really passionate, I might clap my hands at you. Because I was raised in a variety of cultures, boo, so don't judge me. Another reason why I love and appreciate moving is that it forces you to actually go through all of your belongings, and it really encourages you to purge and just get rid of junk. Because I feel like so many times we just have way too much stuff as human beings. Like, we do not need all this stuff. And my mom is a prime example of this. I feel like, Mom, I know you're watching this. I love you. But I feel like she has moved so many times that she has it's had the opposite effect on her. Well, not really the opposite, but it's like she's like taken it to the extreme to where she almost never wants to buy anything new, and she just wants to get rid of everything because she's always thinking, I'm gonna move. Like, I feel like it's like permanently in her mind that she's going to end up moving, so it's a waste of time to get more stuff because she hates packing and unpacking. But like, that's not the way to live, Mom. You gotta move on. You gotta move on. Live your life. The third reason why I love and can appreciate moving is that it really does put things in perspective. This kind of tags along with what I just said, but just for story's sake and for example's sake, I remember transferring to schools. Now, to keep everything in perspective, I guess, I went to approximately I think it was like 6. I don't know, I feel like counting right now. Well, let's just say I went to 6 private schools growing up. I went to a public school for 1 day. That's another story. I am not opposed to public schools, but my parents definitely had their convictions about where they wanted to send me to school. So I did attend all private Christian schools growing up. Most of those schools were like kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. But of course, since I moved so much, I never stayed at the same school. No duh. But a lot of my classmates at those schools did. They were raised at that school. They knew all the teachers. All the teachers knew them when they were in diapers. They've had the same friends and the same classmates since they were in kindergarten. And if that's you and that's your story, great. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's super awesome. It's definitely not my experience. And here's why I can appreciate moving and transferring schools. I can remember so many times that my classmates that did stay at the same school and lived at the same home and, you know, never had that change of scenery would complain about the dumbest stuff. And I realized it's because their outlook on life and their perspective was so limited to what they knew. They only knew of that school. They only knew of that home that they were born and raised in. And I feel like there's so much comfort in that, but at the same time, it's so limiting. So if you are about to move, or you've just heard that your parents have had a job transfer and you have to move across the country, it is not the end of the world, girl. You're gonna be okay. If anything, you will be better. You just have to keep a positive attitude and really brace yourself, because your outlook on life can completely change and your circle of friends is just gonna be even bigger. Which leads me to the 4th reason why I love and appreciate moving. I know so many wonderful, beautiful, amazing people all over the world. And that is an accurate statement. And let me just go out there and say this. A lot of times when I've counseled young ladies who are distraught because they have just moved or they've had to move, they feel like their world is falling apart and they'll never see their friends again and it's all over. Well, if that's the case, then those are not your real friends. Your relationship will remain intact. Yes, you might not talk every day, but that's still gonna be a thing. You're still gonna be friends if they really matter to you and if you really matter to them. So if anything, it makes your friendships even stronger. If you're going through a move right now, or you just moved and you have any other questions about that and how to deal with it, then make sure you leave them in the comment section below and I will answer them, girl. I got you. Guess what I wanted to share with you is that moving is not the end of the world. Whether you're moving because of a positive situation or a traumatic situation, it's gonna be okay. I've been in both positions as far as moving goes, and they're both hard to deal with. I totally understand that. It's not all smiles and giggles and excitement. There will be tears shed and there will be emotional roller coasters, but just know at the end of it all, when you look back, more than likely, if you maintain a positive attitude and you do look at the brighter side of things, you'll be grateful for that move. Make sure you get you some good friends, boo, which leads me to another video that I should probably talk about. The whole new girl thing. Well, I hope today's video encouraged you, brought a smile to your face, all that jazz. If you know somebody that's going through the process of moving and maybe struggling with it a little bit, hopefully this video can encourage them. Feel free to share it with them. And of course, don't forget to this video a thumbs up, which is my virtual, can I get an amen? Amen. Right now, my plan is to upload 1 video every single week, so make sure you subscribe to get notified when that video is up. I got work to do. Okay, well, until next time, stay awesome, be you, and keep loving Jesus, boo. Bye!